So, you've seen half of the theatre room in the constant videos, of course, with the steelbooks and the Blu-rays and all that jazz. And of course, if you've seen my theatre room tours, both of them the official and unofficial ones, then you've seen me going dissecting into it. What I don't really talk about on this channel, because I have a sister channel called Collector Creations, where I kind of review figurines and pop vinyls and whatever. Very rarely, but every now and again. I do like collecting figurines. Now, of course, yes, there are pop vinyls. I'm getting out of that game slowly. Every now and again, I don't mind buying them, though. You know, they're cheap. They're cute sometimes, mostly soulless. But that's okay. However, I recently, as of the past, 6 months, have gone into collecting, proper figurines. And I do have one in the theatre, in my bedroom, which is the Creature in the Black Lagoon. But let's grab my favourite one. This is Pennywise. His balloon does fall because it's actually quite weighty. But this is Pennywise, obviously. You know the clown. Yeah? You've seen him before? I like collecting the figurines that have proper cloth textures to them. Him obviously being still a plastic body and everything, plastic hands, but everything else is cloth. Cloth clothes, obviously plastic legs and ornaments and everything, and you can move them around and whatever. I like these ones. I like how, I know his balloon keeps falling over and it's really annoying. I'd like to change it to the other hand where he's got both of his hands going out like this, but it stands up pretty well when you don't play around with him like a doll. Because, you know, he just does that. But I just like how intricately designed they are in terms of paint job and detailing, as you can see with the face and everything, but then you've got all the different textures. It has just a nice material to it. For me, this is what's better than a pop vinyl. And obviously I've got quite a variety of these guys, where I've got Pennywise, voila. I've also got Ghostface. Now these come with a range of accessories. These are 3 NECA. I've got a retro cloth Freddy Krueger, which I'll show off in a second. I've got, I think he's retro cloth. I'm pretty sure he's like the ultimate figure for, I'm pretty sure he's the retro cloth figure. He's like a newer retro cloth for Pennywise. They're in boxes where you can just open up the top and just take them out, whereas the Freddy Krueger one was in a clamshell. I'm not a big fan of the cases. But then you've got the, they are both 8-inch. This is like 6.5 inches, 7 inches tall. This is actually like an ultimate figure, so its whole body is made of plastic, which is usually the point. But they do have the benefit of, because it's, you know, the Ghostface killer, he does actually have cloth material for his cloak, which I think is really good. The only reason I didn't go with the, there were 2 reasons I didn't go with the kind of retro cloth version, rather than the ultimate figure as I went with here, is because this one actually stands up better. It's not like, it's still just plastic jeans or whatever, but in all fairness, I really just want this to be a good material. But it also comes, like, the feet on the retro cloth don't move all the way around and everything like this ones do, which is really nice. But it also comes with a... These hands came off. That was unintentional. They come with obviously different accessories, so this one comes with a knife. You can take it out of its hand, of course. But he comes with multiple different heads. He actually comes with 3 different heads. 4. There's the standard head. There's one that's fully green, which glows in the dark. One that's drenched in, like, it's got, like, blood splatter on it. And another one that's, like, all old and, like, cracked up. They call it the zombie face one. I don't really know why. But I like when they've got, like, different accessories. I've obviously can move in different ways and positions, but because I've kind of set them up to be on the shelf, it's better if they can just stand in one pose. Every now and again I'll change them around, but let's take a look remotely as to what else we have. So let's go more remote. So, if you've seen this shelf in more detail, you haven't seen these latest 3 of them actually that I got recently. But there is Freddy Krueger here. there are better videos online. I just kind of want to show off the fact that I do actually like collecting ones that have better designs to them. This one is the retro cloth, hence why his jumper is in this kind of design. He actually is from the second Friday the Nightmare on Elm Street film. Comes with a separate head where he's kind of screaming with like half of his brain showing, which is really cool. Which was the head I had initially paired him with for the first like several months that I had him. But I decided to change it around. He does have a different hand as well, which is actually like, instead of a glove, it's all like flesh, as if like but it still has the nails as if they've come out of the flesh of his hand. But he does have like actual clothes and everything as well. That one was one of my favorites. The first one I got, I traded it with a colleague who wanted the chase of Angus Young from AC/DC, which I happened to score for like $20 at JB Hi-Fi. And I traded them for him, because they're both equivalent to like $60. So yes, of course, then you got Ghostface. I've got an Alien figure as well. I'd like to collect a bigger one eventually. I don't like to move them too much. But as you can see, it's really nicely designed. The head thing does actually pop off, and you can close up the mouth if you want to. But it does glitter, as you can see there, which is really nice. Like it has like kind of a liquidy texture. But it even comes with a platform too. So it says Alien, the film year. It comes with an egg that is slightly like holographic in a way. Like you can shine light through it, which is really cool. And it does have, of course, the face hugger jumping out, which you can take out of the egg. It can fall out very easily at the same time. I've put that with my Alien premiums as well, the lenticular versions, which is cool. Then, of course, back again, you got Pennywise, who, again, still looks really nice. I think it's just, he's one that you can pose in just the one way. He's got a second head, which makes him more evil, and he does have a second white hand that's very similar to that, with the kind of open hand pose, and then two that kind of crinkle up like this, that are green, that are like the poster. Which is quite cool. So he, as an overall, is a really nice figure, and I love the texture for the clothing. And then we have my other three. You've got Jason Voorhees, of course. This is the Mezco brand one. His accessories, I actually keep all their accessories in there. There's little bags in there, because I can just remove the pop vinyls and whatever. So Jason is probably my second favorite figure behind Pennywise, just because you can take off his mask. He has two different heads and two different masks. One head that's normal, like it is now, and one head that's got a big cut in the side, same as the mask. It's all bloodied. You can just have like the axe here stabbed into his face, or a butcher knife or whatever, because he comes with a bunch of accessories. But he also has a beautiful posing to him. I love too how the Mezco ones have big plates, with the Halloween one being fully gloss, whereas these two are kind of a matte finish. But he just has a great presence to him in terms of how he's actually been designed. Then you got Freddy, who's my latest one. I got him just the other day. I've gone with the creepy smile version. I wanted them because I wanted to have these three complete. I know I do have another Freddy over there, but at the same time, this one is actually from the first film. He comes with a second hand, actually several second hands. Two of these hands where he's one with just his hands just spread out, like so. One where he's pointing his finger. But you got another hand where he's got two of his fingers chopped off and the green blood squirting out. You've got several heads, including one that has a face that literally like tears off, which is really cool. But he's got some really gnarly looking faces. Like this is his more cheeky one, which I really like. But you do have one where he just has a straight plain face, and one where he's very angry. So there's a lot of differentials to him. Of course, you can take off his hat, and he does have quite a nice texture on his head, as you can see here. So yeah, I love the detail that they put into these guys. Like, these guys have so many different levels of articulation. Of course, the Mezco ones are shorter. These guys are only 6 inches, whereas the Pennywise there is 8 inches, same as Freddy, whereas Ghostface is 7 inches. I believe the Alien is also 6 inches tall. I feel like the Alien could be bigger. I'd like a bigger version of the Alien, but I still really like the one I have. And of course, last but not least, you do have the man himself, Michael Myers. He was the first of the Mezco ones I'd collected. It wasn't so easy to get him. I had to get him on second-hand market because he's not so easy to get anymore. These two I got at Pop Culture. Actually, fuck it, I got all of them at Pop Culture except for Alien was on a secondary market, and Freddy again traded with my friend. So luckily I was able to get this one for about $100, and him for another $100 as well. And he was worth probably a lot more than that. But they come in big boxes, and the box has like a slip shell, but it didn't have the main like Halloween look on the slip shell. It just had the box, which is disappointing. But it had all the accessories. And he is perfect. Like, I really wanted a textured one after getting the pop vinyl. I was like, I want something that's properly textured. It comes with, like, I've pretty much displayed all of his accessories except for the alternate head and other knives he has. He only has, like, 2 other knives. But he does have an alternate head, which is the, it's the big, like, bed sheet ghost head he has. And of course you turn on the light and you've got yourself a flaming jack-o'-lantern with the tomb head behind. But yeah, as an overall, I really dig this trilogy of characters. Of course, Mezco does some really great designs. I still think Jason's my favourite, but I really like the proper cloth that they actually use, like the actual textured stuff. You know, of course, there's the occasional stuff that has to be made in plastic, like Michael's head. They could have gone with, like, an actual material, but of course they just chose to go with, no, we're going to stick with an actual plastic for his head, and for his hands and his body, and Freddy, same thing, and Jason, same, but the clothes are textured, which I really like. Of course, there are figurines that are fully plastic, and of course they've got all, like, the creases and everything. I'm not big on those ones. Even my creature in the Black Lagoon is textured, like it has plastic head and chest piece and hands and feet, but it's like thins and its whole body is like this, like a jumpsuit. It's like a one-piece suit, which is really interesting. I do have another one coming in the next few months that is actually fully plastic with articulation, so I'm interested in how that one's going to look in comparison. But yeah, I don't know, I just kind of wanted to do a video showing that I know I do collect things, but I do actually really like my more articulated designs for the Mezco and NECA toys. So yeah, overall, they're really cool. Of course, I just like them because they're better designs than the pop vinyls and take up kind of less room. I mean, obviously these guys have their big plates, but as an overall, you know, it's kind of a crowded area over here, isn't it? It's a lot of stuff. Anyway, that's what it is. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Adios.